Hi and welcome to the final part of how to write your personal exercise program. I hope it's going really well and you've almost finished. This is the appendices or the appendix section, and I'm going to tell you what you put in this very last section. So the appendices don't count towards your word count. They are your evidence of your sessions, a diary, your ParQ. You're going to write in your main body of text in the 1500 words, and you're going to link your work to your appendices, and the best ones do that really well. Okay, but this is not assessed, but you must have these. The first thing I'd probably include is a 6-week diary, which is just a brief outline of the days of the week that you did sessions. It's a really good way of showing how you use rest and recovery and rest days, and you can link that by showing that you had fewer rest days as the weeks went on. You can also include little things like maybe if you included any principles of trainings within your sessions. What I've also got here is you've got your normal sessions on activity 1, which count towards your personal exercise program. I've also included other things you do outside of school, so you can also see where rest days were. So a session workout. Now these are the sheets you complete during each session. So you start them before and you write about them after. They include the outline of the session that you did, and it might have resting heart rate and heart rate values on as well. They must be filled in for each of your personal exercise program sessions. They don't have to be filled in for other stuff that you do outside of school, but you can. So if you include more runs or more workouts outside, you need to have a personal exercise program sheet, but you don't have to have one for all the additional stuff you do outside of school. On this sheet needs to include a brief outline of what you did, the method of training you used, levels of intensity, and at the end, the really important bit is your evaluation of that. If circuit training lists the stations, the timing of each station, and the rest times between stations and between sets. If you're doing cardiovascular fitness and as a focus, you must include resting heart rate, your working heart rate, and your recovery rate, which you can fill in after a session. Evaluate the session at the end. That's the most important part, really. Maybe say what went well, even better if, or what you plan to do next time. Is there any stations you're taking out and changing for next time? So it's an immediate reflection of your session. They look like that from Edexcel, but your teacher can make them up as they wish. They can make them look how they want, but that's the rough one that Edexcel give you. I find for cardiovascular fitness, using something like Strava is really useful, because what you can do is you can take screenshots off your phone or off a PC or laptop, and you can print those out and add them to your appendices. You can then link those from your work to your appendices so the examiner can see all the detail, like the pacing and the distance you travelled and the amount of time that you ran for. It's a really good way of looking at how you change your sessions. And I find Strava is excellent for helping you gradually change the intensity of your workouts, because you can immediately start to run a little bit faster. You use a heart rate monitor, or you've got a tracker watch with a heart rate monitor, that data is also saved on Strava, and you can print them as screenshots as well. That then gives you your working heart rates. You have to put a ParQ in that you've completed before you did your program. You have a tick boxes that you have to do before you start. That must be included in your appendices, and it must also be, as I said, I think in session 1, referenced. So you say that you completed a ParQ test and anything that came up on that test. That's just an example of a weekly diary. So if you want to pause it there, that's just a rough one. So you can see that I've got the activity, how long you did it, and how I used FITT. In bold, I've highlighted a rest date. Other things you can have in there. So you can have a diagram of your circuit or weight training. You could have maybe a bit more detail on your circuit training. You could have heart rate graphs from your Garmin or Apple Watch or Strava, or any other way you've recorded your heart rate. Graphs and tables can go in appendices, but they can also go in the body of work. And if they go in the body of work, because they're a graph or a table, they don't count towards your word count. You can't put things like justification of circuit into your 1500 words and hope that doesn't count. That would count. But tabulation or graphs does not count as word count. So I hope you found this helpful, and you should now be in a position to completely finish your personal exercise program. Check out the other videos I've got if you need help with any other GCSE topics. Good luck.